We hear it all the time. Nothing lasts forever. That everything around us, from giant mountains to our own bodies, is eventually going to get old and fade away. But what if that wasn't the whole truth? Today, we're diving into a piece of ancient wisdom that points to one incredibly powerful force that, believe it or not, never, ever ages. So, the text we're exploring today starts with this really profound, almost heavy observation. It's a reminder that everything we see, everything we can touch, is on a one-way trip to decay. It feels like a fundamental, unavoidable truth of just being alive. Or at least, that's how it seems. Now, this whole process of aging and breaking down actually has a name, Zera. You can think of it as the great equalizer, right? It's this basic law of nature that applies to everything and everyone, reminding us that nothing in the physical world is permanent. But what if there's a loophole in this supposedly unbreakable law? Yep, you heard that right. The text says that inside this huge, universal cycle of birth, growth, and then decay, there is one single exception, one force that is totally immune to all of it. So, what is this thing that has eternal youth? It's not some kind of mythical fountain or hidden treasure. The source tells us it's a force that exists right inside of us. And it has a name. And here we have it. On one side, you have literally everything else in existence that grows old and withers away. And on the other side, you have this thing called Trishna. It stays forever young. Trishna is a word for a very specific type of desire or thirst. You can think of it as avarice, a greed that never ever gets old. The contrast here is just wild, isn't it? Everything tangible is on the left. On the right is this invisible feeling that outlasts it all. And the source is super clear about its two main features. First, it can never really be destroyed. And second, it can never, ever be satisfied. It's like a perpetual motion machine of wanting, always running at 100%. Okay, so what is Trishna, really? Let's dig a little deeper into how this ageless greed actually works and, probably more importantly, how it might be popping up in our own lives without us even realizing it.
So here's the key thing to get. Trishna isn't just wanting something. We all want things. No, this is an insatiable craving. It's the kind of desire that when you feed it, it doesn't get weaker. It actually gets stronger. It's like a fire where everything you throw on it just becomes more fuel.
And this is the million-dollar question, right? This massive, all-consuming force doesn't just show up out of nowhere. It starts small. It starts from a place that's actually pretty reasonable and easy to understand, and the source gives us the perfect everyday example of how this happens. This just lays it out so brilliantly. Look how it escalates. It starts with need. We need a house to live in. That's a basic human necessity, totally normal. Then it evolves into desire. We want that house to be a good house. Okay, still pretty reasonable. But then it crosses a line. It morphs into Trishna, into avarice, with that one little thought. Why only one? I should really have two, or maybe three. And that, right there, is the turning point. That's when need turns into greed, and it's that greed that stays forever young. All right, so the source has laid out this powerful, ageless problem. But the good news is it doesn't just leave us there. It also offers a path to freedom, a way for us to actually fight back against this insatiable craving from the inside. The solution it gives us is a three-step approach, and it's all about our inner game. First, become wise. You have to understand what Trishna is and how it works inside you. Second, become thoughtful. Really reflect on your needs versus your wants. And third, be cautious. You gotta stay alert for that exact moment when a reasonable desire starts to turn into that insatiable craving. But what I love is that the text is also really realistic. It knows that sometimes our own self-control just isn't going to be enough to fight a force this strong. So, what do you do when wisdom and caution just aren't cutting it? Well, the source has one last piece of advice. And this is the ultimate backup plan. The quote basically says, if you can't get rid of this avarice by yourself, then pray. Only taking refuge in the divine can truly end it. It's suggesting that when our own strength just isn't enough against this timeless inner enemy, the real solution is to seek help from a higher power, to find a shelter that can finally quiet that endless thirst. So we're left with this really powerful way of looking at a timeless human struggle. We've seen how a simple, basic need can spiral into this ageless, bottomless craving. And all of that brings us to the final and most important question that this piece of wisdom asks every single one of us. What is your avarice? What is the one desire in your life that seems to be forever young?